Yo, what is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Slug back at it again with another video. Now what I have for you guys today is my highly requested full and complete guide in order to farm an infinite amount of insight from using one of, if not the best insight duplication glitch within the game of Bloodborne. By following this guide, you guys are going to be duping insight for free without consuming any of your resources whatsoever. And although this glitch may be notoriously challenging in terms of the timing and trying to get it right, I promise you guys, once you do get your heads around it with a little practice, you'll be on your way to accumulating hundreds and hundreds of insight in just a matter of minutes. As of the current Bloodborne patch 1.09, I can confirm to you guys that this glitch does work. However, in my previous insight glitch video, I noticed that you guys had so many unanswered questions for me. So what I'm hoping for in this video, being my full guide, is to go as in-depth as I possibly can to sort of answer all of those potential questions that you guys may have for me in regards to this glitch, how it works, and how to do it correctly. So, like we always do, if you guys find that this video does help you out in any way, feel free to drop a like and comment on the video, all that good stuff. It does help me out. But with all of that being said, enough of the introductions, let's jump straight into it. Rightio guys, so this video will comprise of two halves. The first half of the video will be the setup process, which is basically all of the prerequisite things that we need to do first. And then once we've done those things correctly, we can then move on to the second half of the video, which will be our duping process. So now that that is all established, let's make a start. So first things first, starting up Bloodborne, we want to load up an online session, click continue, and then we want to spawn straight inside the Hunter's Dream. Once inside the Hunter's Dream, what we then need to do, guys, is that we need to equip our Hunter's Mark within the first lot of our personal effects. So in order to do this, click the right hand side of the touchpad. That will bring up your personal effects. Select that first slot by clicking triangle, which will then open up your inventory menu, and then scroll all the way down until you find your Hunter's Mark. Select that and put that within the first slot. And then in addition to this, guys, all of the other slots must be completely empty with no other items in there, as you can see here. Once you've done that, what we then need to do is that we need to equip our Ludwig's Holy Blade in the two-handed variant. So in order to do this, whilst wielding the weapon, click the L1 button and you'll notice that your character alternates between the one-handed and the two-handed variations. Now if you guys do not have this weapon, there is no need to worry, because I have tried this glitch with every weapon within the game and I can confirm to you guys that it does work. However, it can be a little bit more trickier, which is why for video purposes we are going to be wanting to equip our Ludwig's Holy Blade in the two-handed variant, as it really does help assist with the timing for this glitch, in which you guys will see later on in this video. Once you've done that, what we then need to do is that we want one and one only of Great One's Wisdom on us inside of our inventory. If you guys have any more than one of this item on you, you are going to have to deposit the excess amount inside of your storage. Now if you guys don't have any Great One's Wisdom on you at all, a good substitute for this can be Madman's Knowledge, as it is also an insight consumable, but for video purposes we are going to be using Great One's Wisdom, as we'll be gaining insight twice as fast in doing so. Now as a side note, whatever insight consumable that you are using for this glitch, you cannot have any of the other insight consumable on you at the same time. What I mean by this is, for example, if I were to be using Great One's Wisdom for this glitch, I don't want any Madman's Knowledge inside of my inventory. Vice versa, if I were to be using Madman's Knowledge for this glitch, I don't want any Great One's Wisdom inside of my inventory. Although this may seem a little pedantic and unnecessary, it's just always best to keep on the safe side when doing these glitches. Anyway guys, once you've done that, what we then need to do is that we do not want any blood vials and we do not want any quick draw bullets on us inside of our inventory. If you guys have any more than 0, you will have to deposit the excess amount inside of your storage, as we don't want any of these items on us whatsoever. And if you've done this correctly, in the top left hand corner we now have 0 of each. This is exactly what we're after. So once you've done that, what we then need to do is that we're going to turn around, head outside the store until we come up to this ledge here. Once we're at this ledge within the Hunter's Dream, we're then going to open up our inventory menu, scroll all the way down until we find our Great One's Wisdom, select that until we get this message prompt here. From here, what we're going to do is that we're going to click Use, and then immediately after clicking Use, we're going to move our left analog stick forward, which is going to push our character off the ledge. What this does is that it cancels the use animation for our Great One's Wisdom, and it tricks the game into thinking we've consumed it, but we actually haven't. And just to double check that we still have our Great One's Wisdom, we'll open up our inventory menu again, just to see that it's still in there, which it is. And once you've done that, what we then need to do is that we're going to head back to our storage box and deposit that one Great One's Wisdom back inside of our character's storage. Very, very important, guys, because if we do not do this, we're going to accidentally consume this later on when we're doing the duping process, which is going to defeat the whole purpose of this video. We are trying to get insight for free rather than consuming our own resources. So with all of that being said, guys, we have now successfully completed all of the steps for the setup process. But just before we progress with the duping process, I'll just quickly recap all of the things that we've done so far so that everyone is on the same page and up to speed. So like you'll remember, the first thing that we did was that we started up an online session and then spawned inside of the Hunter's Dream. We then equipped our Hunter's Mark within the first slot of our personal effects. We then equipped the two-handed Ludwig's Holy Blade. We then had one and one only of Great One's Wisdom on us inside of our inventory. We then had 0 blood vials and 0 quick draw bullets on us as well. We then went up to the ledge, clicked use for our Great One's Wisdom, and then immediately after fell off the ledge in order to cancel that use animation. And then finally we headed back to our storage box and deposited that one Great One's Wisdom back inside of our character's storage. Now that we've done all of this, we'll go ahead and jump into the main focus of this video, which is the duping process. So where I'm standing now is where we want to be for these next steps. Now the following sequence of instructions may be a little bit overwhelming, so I highly suggest watching this quite a few times before attempting it yourselves, so you develop a really good understanding of what to do, as this really does revolve around the timing of your inputs. So now that that is all established, let's make a start. So first things first, we're going to move our left analog stick forward. This will make our character run. We always want to be running forward for the entire duration of this glitch. The only time that I release my left analog stick is if I've either made a mistake or that I've decided to stop duping altogether. And after a few seconds of running forward, we are then going to press the triangle button. This is going to make your character reach for his 0 blood vials and 0 quick draw bullets. And then immediately after pressing the triangle button, we are then going to press the right hand side of the touchpad. This is going to bring up your personal effects. And then immediately after clicking the right hand side of the touchpad, we then want to focus our attention on either one of two things for this next step. The timing of your Ludwig's Holy Blade or the timing of your character's head turn. Whichever way you prefer is completely up to you, but just know either way requires you to be absolutely frame perfect. So we'll start with the timing of the Ludwig's Holy Blade, as I do recommend focusing on this way rather than the other, simply because I find it to be a little easier. So as you've done, after moving your left analog stick forward and then a few seconds later pressing the triangle button and then immediately after pressing the right hand side of the touchpad, your sword will then start to dip down for a brief moment before coming back up very quickly. As it's on the rise at this exact moment here, just before the sword is completely horizontal, this is the exact frame rate where you then want to press the X button. No sooner, no later. And if you've done this correctly, your character will then perform an insight consumption animation, and then you'll notice in the top right hand corner we have now successfully duplicated 2 free insight. So hopefully you guys understand all of that. I'll now go into the timing of your character's head turn, just for those that may prefer to do it this way instead. So after pressing the right hand side of the touchpad, your character's head is going to turn to the side, almost as if he's looking in his back pocket. It will be like this for a split second before he then turns his head back around to the front again. The exact moment before he turns his head back around to the front again is the exact frame rate where you then want to press the X button. I understand that there is a very small window of when to actually press the X button. It's going to take some time getting used to, but when you do, you'll pretty much have your own unlimited insight farm for free. And just before I forget, at any point within the duping process that you get this message here, specifically when trying to press the X button, this message basically means that you're just a little bit slow in pressing the X button on time. So it's always best to be faster than not. However, if you do get this message displayed, you are going to have to reset the duping process immediately, which is very quick and easy to do. So to do this, press no for the message and then head inside of your storage box, withdraw that one Great One's Wisdom that was inside of your storage, and then much like the setup process, you then have to head back out to that ledge and then open up your inventory, select that Great One's Wisdom and then click use, and then immediately after clicking use, you then want to move your left analog stick forward, which will make your character fall off the ledge. This cancels the use animation. And then you want to head back inside of your storage box and deposit that one Great One's Wisdom back inside of your character's storage before you then can return to your duping spot and attempt to start duping your insight again. Now with that out of the way, I will quickly recap the duping process for you guys before I wrap up the rest of the video. So as you'll remember, once in our duping spot, the first thing that we did was that we moved our left analog stick forward. This made our character run, and just to remember, we always want to be running forward for the entire duration of duping our insight. And then after a few seconds of running forward, we then pressed the triangle button. This made our character reach for his 0 blood vials and 0 quick draw bullets. And then immediately after pressing the triangle button, we then pressed the right hand side of the touchpad. This brought up our personal effects. And then finally, we then pressed the X button just before our sword was completely horizontal on the way back up again. Or we then pressed X just before our character's head turned back around to the front again. Rightio boys and girls, with all of that being said, this does conclude the rest of the video. I understand that this guide may have been a little extensive. Some of the steps that I may have mentioned could have been unnecessary. I'm sure there are shorter ways in performing this. But I just wanted to reiterate to you guys, if you follow exactly what I do specifically, you cannot go wrong whatsoever. So if you have made it this far, feel free to drop a like and comment on the video, all that good stuff. But apart from that, that is going to do it. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been your boy Slug, and I'm out. Peace!